All right, Tuesday, we're gonna do some back workout. Starting out with the good old weighted pull-ups. Pull-ups are great full body exercise, focusing on the back, biceps, shoulders. So, doing it on rings here just adds a little bit of ergonomics. Allows me to move my hand positioning, makes it a little bit more comfortable. But overall, not too different from not too much more difficult than using a bar. It is a little bit different though, because you can shift your grip and kind of shift more to your forearms and your bicep. So that's one thing to consider. But here we'll go from a weighted pull-up to a body weight pull-up. So what we're doing is we're going down in progressions, going from the harder ones to the easier ones, but not taking too much time in between, because we want to maintain our time under tension for the muscle that we're working out. So here I go to the body weight to a band assisted version, so going down another progression, but not taking any time other than the time it takes to set up the next exercise, because we want to keep that muscle active, and we don't want to rest it too much, because we're not working too high of an intensity, right? So I'll do as many as we can. And on this particular day, I decided to just do all these exercises in series without much rest between. So I go right from the band assisted pull-ups to the straight leg raise. Here I'm bending my arms, holding that grip position, so it's kind of a static hold that works on the back a little bit more as well, while doing some leg extended lower body ab raises. Keeping that leg extended is really tough on the hip flexors, so if you're trying that, I think you'll feel that right in front of your leg. I certainly felt it when I started doing it, so I want to do more of that to kind of work on that a little bit. But I'll go from a leg extended version straight to a tucked version, and the tucked version is a little bit easier, so I'll use a dumbbell for a little bit added resistance, and I'll just do as many reps as I can. At the same time, of course, keeping that grip active, so kind of working on the back the whole time there as well. And from here, we'll do one final exercise with the scapular pull-ups. This one, doing all 6 of these exercises in series is pretty tough on the grip. So I was actually failing on this exercise at like when I was doing the leg raises. It wasn't my abs that were failing; it was my grip and my shoulders. So that's one thing to keep in mind as you do these, to make sure that you can focus on the body part that you're working out. So after a break, I'll go do some resistance band rows. Really like this exercise, just setting it up to have the resistance bands there. Add as many as you feel comfortable with. Maybe doing like 6 to 12 reps. I'm not really counting reps too much. I just kind of do a range, hit that range, and kind of what feels comfortable. So hitting that is great. Get the shoulders a little bit, and then from there we go into a straight arm scapular pull. Make sure to lock your arms. Remember, picture trying to break this bar in half, and that'll let you keep your arms straight and your form tight, so you feel it more in your kind of lats and serratus instead of your arms and triceps. And then from there, we're gonna go straight into some face pulls. So I just superset these. So face pulls are a great exercise, working on the back a little bit and the rear shoulder, which is an area that I think a lot of people are lacking in, just because of the popular exercises like overhead press and bench that hit the front delts a lot more. So this exercise is fantastic. Keep your arms up, and then the extension at the top makes it a little bit more difficult as well. So after that, we'll go do some chin-ups. I have a dumbbell here for some added difficulty. but we're just gonna do as many chin-ups as we can, and this is just gonna finish up the bicep muscle, right? So what we were doing before was primarily for the back, so we want to hit the back first. We don't want to fatigue the bicep, but after we hit the back, then we want to give the bicep a little bit of attention to make sure that we get a good workout in the arms as well. Make sure you have proper footing when you're doing any exercise, very important. So here we'll do some bicep curls with a resistance band. I use a stool here just for a little bit of added height to kind of hit that resistance sweet spot I'm looking for. Do as many reps as I can here. And then when you can't do any more, just take a step down. Makes it a little bit easier with a resistance band, and do a few more, and then just do that 3 times. And then from there, that's the end of the back and bicep workout. So we're gonna hit up the ab routine, right? The ab pull downs with the resistance band, making sure to keep your legs straight, keep your form tight, your core tight, and make sure you're pulling with your abs. I mean, this is a pretty standard exercise. I like it. It's easy to adjust the difficulty with the resistance band as well, as you see me do there. So it's just another way that I think is a little bit easier on your lower back compared to doing crunches, and then also easier to kind of change the difficulty. So and then from there we go right into the side raise with the bag of rice here, doing the left side, and then going right away to the right side. Pretty standard here. Just try and get the full range of motion. Try and lock out at the top and hold for a second if you can, and you'll get. And these exercises, you don't need to take any break in between, because you're kind of working out different areas of the core, so that lets you get through it a little bit quicker. And then here we just do some body weight exercises. We're just doing a L sit on the ground here. We're just on the floor to try and work on those hip flexors a little bit more. This one is a pretty tough exercise, so if you can't do this right away, don't worry about it. I couldn't hold this position for more than maybe a second or two. Could barely get it off the ground when I started. So just work on one leg, or maybe get an elevated surface to put your hands on. That can help. It's just an exercise that kind of isolates the hip flexors, which is something that I'm trying to work on a little bit. So from there, we'll just do some of our weighted ab raises on the ground. Make sure to keep your back flat. Bend your legs as needed to adjust the difficulty. The straighter they are, the more difficult they are, and obviously the more weight you have, the more difficult it is. But these are pretty tough after doing the hip flexor L-sit exercises. So I just drop the weight and go to body weight versions on this day, because you gotta know your limit, right? I mean, don't push yourself too hard. Know when you're hurting, and adjust the progressions as needed. But after that, we'll just do some more body weight version of the ab raise, just to keep the time under tension of the abs going, because we want to make sure that it gets a good endurance workout, right? Your abs are for stability. And then we finish it off with some ab rotations, which kind of works the whole core, side plank, front plank, and a little bit of rotation. Dumbbells make it a little bit more difficult, but definitely pretty tough on the shoulders. To kind of works on that rear shoulder, that side, almost like a side raise, hitting the delts too. So overall, I like this exercise, but that's another day, another workout in the books. Subscribe for daily reminders, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys. Have a good one.